Morning, the Federal Aviation Administration will be investigating a plane crash that killed 4 people. It happened around 7 last night near the Las Cruces airport. Witnesses tell state police the plane was flying low before it went down shortly after takeoff about a mile south of I-10. It burst into flames on impact, killing everyone on board.
I'm sure there is a black box in there. I don't know the extent of damage to the box. The plane crash itself is contained to a small area, and that's telling me that the plane did not have a lot of speed at that time of the crash.
The victims have not been identified just yet. The plane was headed to Phoenix. Santa Fe City Council has voted 5-4 to decriminalize the possession of small amounts of marijuana. People in the capital city have been pushing for the change. Now, there were questions as to whether the city could get it on the November ballot, so councilors decided to pass the law themselves. Santa Fe's mayor supports the decision. The city of Albuquerque is doing what it can to help conserve water, but it's how the city is doing it that has some folks worried.
It's because the city has put a poisonous plant in a park.
They're dangerous plants for kids. They're dangerous plants for adults, too. The berries have been known, when ingested, can cause death.
That is all very true, and despite that, the city put the Virginia creeper vine at Zuni Park to keep water from running into the street. But the city admits, yes, the berries on the plant are toxic. That has neighbors concerned that kids or animals will accidentally eat the plants and get very sick. The Parks Department tells us there are several landscaping plants that are toxic and people react differently to them, like we do with allergies and grass. The best way to avoid getting sick is to teach kids about the plants and keep an eye on them.
Part of it is just teaching your kids to recognize things and to understand that they shouldn't pick and eat plant parts out in the environment.
The city's gotten a number of complaints about the Virginia creeper plant, so it moved them away from the sidewalk, but they're still at the park. Well, this busy monsoon season, there has been more than just a lot of water in Albuquerque's arroyos. That's
right. The Flood Control Authority says it has seen a big spike in trash like old TVs and shopping carts in the channels. The authority says it's likely because it has seen an increase in the homeless camping around the arroyos. It is unclear why more TVs are being chucked into the channels. Either way, it's a big inconvenience for work crews with enough on their plate.
You can see how steep the channels are. They're very hard to get out, and it's time consuming for our maintenance workers when they need to be out maintaining our facilities, not pulling trash out of the bottom of them.
The authority has only a dozen workers to maintain nearly 70 miles of ditches and 35 dams. A New Mexico school must have all kids out of a building by tomorrow. This after state inspectors red-tagged it. The building on North Coronado Avenue houses the Cariños de los Niños Charter School and the Española Public Schools kindergarten and pre-K program. Well, according to the Albuquerque Journal, inspections found shocking violations, including exposed wires, asbestos, inadequate ventilation, and mold. The Española superintendent says the district is asking parents to keep children home while it finds a new place to put the kids. The inspections were done after parents filed complaints.
The intersection of 98th and Blake in southwest Albuquerque is back open this morning after this deadly crash closed it down last night. Police say it looks like a motorcycle did not stop completely and ran into an SUV that was already in the intersection. Officers say the rider was not wearing a helmet and died. They have not released his name. And police say a 59-year-old man is dead after a semi-crash on I-40 yesterday morning. This happened just before 3 between Laguna and Mesita. Police say 2 semis were involved and 1 driver was killed. The driver and passenger of a second semi-truck were hurt but will be okay. Police have not said exactly how the crash happened, but they say speed was a factor and it was raining heavily at the time.
Police arrest the mother of a 13-year-old baby boy after he was found dead in a culvert. The child's body was actually found in January near the Crystal Chapter House on the Navajo Nation north of Gallup. Now, his 25-year-old mother, Clara Jo, was just arrested yesterday in connection with the death. The FBI isn't saying what she's charged with or how the boy died.
5:05 now, a former New Mexico State University student is facing federal time this morning, accused of threatening to commit a mass shooting on campus. Zachary Hess here was arrested Monday and is now charged with making an online threat. Investigators say Hess threatened to shoot up the campus when he was in an anonymous online chat in May. Investigators say someone snapped a screenshot of Hess's message and posted it to NMSU's Facebook page. The Las Cruces Sun News reports Hess planned the shooting 4 days after the mass shooting near a college in California that left 7 people dead. Hess was in court Tuesday and is now in jail without bond. Well, a neighborhood in Roswell is still shaken up this morning after witnesses say 2 men tried to kill another man in broad daylight. The Plains Valley Online News says everything started about 6 last night at Sunset and McGaffey. A white and blue car smashed into other cars, and people nearby say the driver was trying to get away from 2 men shooting from a pickup truck. No one ended up getting shot, and police are not saying much about what happened. Liz?
A lot of people are talking about this story today. Authorities say an audio tech for the Cops reality TV show was accidentally shot and killed by police during a shootout with a robbery suspect.
The officers had no choice other than to respond in the manner they did.
All right, this happened in Omaha, Nebraska. Omaha police say it happened during a robbery attempt at a fast food restaurant Tuesday night. 38-year-old Bryce Dion was shot as the armed suspect was trying to exit the building. Bryce was a 7-year veteran of the long-running show. One of the show's producers says his unfortunate death shows how real the show is.
It's not manipulated, it's not managed, it's not staged, it's all true and it's real. And it happens as it happens. And unfortunately, that's our highlight and our lowlight.
The robbery suspect was killed. The crew's video is now evidence that will be shown to a grand jury. The 3 officers involved have been placed on leave.